So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nate the World, the YouTube channel. Earlier this year, I made a promise that I would do a lot more video diary kind of stuff throughout this year. And I'm just really tackling whatever topic kind of boils to the surface. Most, if not all, these things that I'm going to share are things that I originally wrote about, but doing the video allows me to kind of take a deeper dive. And the topic that we're going to discuss today is one of those things that people have really responded to on my website. And I would love to talk a little bit more about it, particularly because there are quite a few people who are discussing this particular topic on YouTube, and the world of hiking and documenting your experiences about hiking is becoming very popular, particularly those who do through hikes. But for a while now, I have been documenting my own preparation for a through hike of the Pacific Crest Trail in 2020. So I thought that it might be worth sharing with you all my latest entry. So I hope you will enjoy. So on April 11th of next year, if all goes according to plan and I get the date that I want out of the pool of everyone else who applies, myself and a friend, we will begin hiking the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada. And for those who are unfamiliar with the trail, it runs from the border of California and Mexico up through Oregon and Washington and ends just on the other side of the Canadian border. So throughout this process, I have been attempting to document it. My prep, I will do my best while out on the trail to document my experience, and then what comes afterwards. So this is the 11th entry in the series. I'm publishing a post about once a month, and so if you would like to go back and read those are all available on my website, which is natetheworld.com. So in entry number 10, I mentioned a writing challenge that I'm undertaking for the year. And the whole challenge is kind of focused on this concept of a journey. And this challenge has gotten me thinking a lot about mediums where hiking and camping is a focus. And I am a cinephile. I love movies. I go once a week. And have been doing that since I was 16. I've seen close to 800 movies in a theater. So I started digging around the internet for a comprehensive list of the best movies on this subject. And it didn't take long before I landed on the following list, and the list is called the 32 Best Hiking Movies and Outdoor Documentaries, and this is the list printed off. So some of the films that are listed on here: Into the Wild, Tracks, The Way, Wild, The Way Back, Wild Like, A Walk in the Woods. I will include a link in the description below, but if you're looking for films based on the topic, I think this is probably a pretty good place to start. As I work my way through the films, I'm really curious to see how it will impact my writing, thinking, preparation for the trail. I'm also interested to see, when the journey actually begins, will there be scenes from movies that pop up into my mind? Will there be circumstances that are very similar? So I'm very excited to see how those two things play together. The journey, just this journey of mine, really, it takes some grit. It requires a bit of good luck, but it also demands a heightened level of mental, physical, financial, and spiritual discipline. Throughout my life, I've had to exercise all four of these things to varying degrees, but rarely have I had to summon the strength of all four at the same time. As I read of the experiences of those who have conquered the trail or those who have had to bail, I am beginning to realize what will be required of me to make it all the way to Canada. And I will have to do things that I never thought possible. And without a doubt, I will be a different version of myself. I will change, but I really am trying to become mentally focused on this idea that there will absolutely be nothing standing in my way. So the next idea is around Walden Pond and this idea of solitude. So shortly after graduating from college, I read On Walden Pond by Henry David Thoreau. It was one of those life-changing reads for me, and it was, in some small way, it was the genesis for this expedition. While I have every intention of conquering this trail with my dear friend Elizabeth, I know there will be times when we are alone in the woods. And sure, we're going to cross paths with other hikers and people in town. I hear nothing but fantastic things about the hiker community that exists around the PCT. But I also know there will be long stretches where we are alone, just us and our thoughs. And for some, this might be a frightening idea, but for me, I really think it will be a revelation. I am naturally an extrovert, so this idea of me being alone with just me and the things running through my mind is really exciting. The world in which I find myself is, and I'm sure many of you can relate, but it's loud, it's noisy, it's congested, and I am really looking forward to nature and the sounds that it encompasses. And I long for the baptism and rejuvenation that can only be found in nature. So, which brings us to our next topic, the Sierras and an ice axe. If I'm honest, the Sierra Mountains scare me shitless. Post-holing, freezing nights, crossing streams, never-ending wet socks, and any other potential inconvenience is more than any trial I've had to face on hikes that I've done. To kind of combat these nerves, I'm hoping to spend some time in the Sierras this spring. I'm hoping to do that, start that next summer, or not next summer, in April. And I really want to do this because I want to ready myself. I've also been doing a lot of reading on post-holing and properly using an ice axe, and for me, the only way that I can kind of quiet a restless mind is by experience. But if you have any experience doing any of those things, let me know in the comments below. If you know good resources, let me know. I'm always open to hearing from you guys. And finally, the wisdom of others. A journey of this seems to give birth to the very idea of self-reliance. It also seems to give rise to the wisdom of others. I've spent countless hours reading the stories, watching videos from those who have hiked the trail, and talking with people more experienced than me. And I think there's an important lesson here. Far too often in this life, we find ourselves afraid of asking for help. 2,650 miles, I think, has a way of humbling you and forcing you to do things that feel uncomfortable at first, but give birth to the possibility of one of the greatest experiences of your life. And in order for that to happen, there must be some conversations about help and how to ask for it. So, Finally, some closing thoughts before you guys click whatever video is being suggested that you watch next. As always, I want to thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the channel, please subscribe, share it, recommend it with your friends. Seriously, I would love you for that. I would encourage you to visit my website for other original pieces, not just about hiking, but lots of other things. That website is natetheworld.com. I will provide a link below. Also, I want you to follow Nate the World on your favorite social media platform. If it's popular, I'm probably there. And finally, we launched a Patreon page like everyone else and their mother. I can be found at patreon.com/NateTheWorld. If you like what we're producing, please consider supporting. Remember that original content takes time, and it's anything but free. But until next time, thanks for watching, and be good to yourself.